Hello, today we're going to do day 2. We're going to do May 7th, day 2, still writing quadratic expressions from factor to standard form. So when you open it up, make sure that you do the document for translations. Go ahead and open this. And very important, when you read this lesson, I want you to do this first. Okay, so important. I want you to read this. Very important. Take some moment. Please read that in your line. Translate this right now. Make sure you read this and understand this right here. Okay. Okay. Again, the same thing. It's like yesterday, but today we're going. Yesterday was only positive. Okay. But today we're going to work with negative numbers. Okay. So it's very important. A lot of errors. Okay, so I think you've seen a question like this, but go ahead and read this and make sure you translate it. But basically, we're going to convert this to standard form. So I've already written out this over here, okay? So as you remember from yesterday, the first thing is we take this x and we multiply it by that x. X times x is x squared, okay? And then we multiply it. Now, here's the important thing. If there is a negative sign in front of a number, in front, so this negative is for the 15, not the x, but the 15. So I got to take x multiplied by negative 15 would be negative 15x, okay? So that's that. And then we do like before, 2 times x is plus, so 2 is plus. There's nothing in front of x, so it's positive, 2x. But then we go negative 2, or sorry, positive 2 times negative 15. That would be negative 30. And if you're not sure, you can use your calculator, right? Okay, so if I want, I can use my calculator and I can go 2 times, and then remember, when you're multiplying this number times negative 15, you got to use the negative, okay? So the negative 15, enter, and I get negative 30, okay? So that's how to do that. And now when we put these together, after we do the FOIL method, and we've got this, now we just put together, so x squared is just x squared, but I can combine these two together, so that's negative 15 plus 2x. So again, you can use a calculator if you need to. Negative 15, remember, I'm starting with that, so it's going to be negative 15 plus the 2, enter, and I get negative 13, okay? Okay, so I get x squared, so then this is negative 13, of course, negative 30. And just like before, if we're filling out this, if there's nothing there, this is like a 1, right? So 1, and then this is the negative. I got to put the sign too, minus 13x, and then minus 30. Okay, so I did not put the sign, so you have to put the signs, whether it's plus or minus. In this case, negative and negative, negative and negative. What is A? It's still 1. B is not just 13, but the whole negative 13. And C is also negative 30, okay? So let's do one more. You try this one right here and see if you get it, and then I'll show you the solution. Okay, so again, x multiplied by x squared, x times negative 10x minus 10x. Okay, now we're doing a negative 3. Negative 3 times x is negative 3x, but here's the thing. Negative times a negative multiplication is a positive. So this is actually going to be negative 3 times negative 10 is actually plus 30. And you can use a calculator if you need to. Okay, so this is going to be negative 3 times negative 10, enter, and you see it becomes positive because you multiply negative times a negative. Okay, now like before, we're going to combine the numbers that we can combine. So these two can combine. And remember, you just get negative 10 minus 3 is negative 13x, x squared, but this is positive 30. So these two are still negative 30, but because it's two negatives, this is now goes from a negative to a positive. So again, 1 there, this is negative 13, but now this is plus 30. So the answers are A is 1, B is negative 13, and C is 30. Okay, so here's the next problem, 7 through 9, okay? All right, same thing, right? So we're going to go x minus 3, x plus 3. So we go like this, x squared, and then like this, plus 3x, Then we start here, negative 3x. And then here, negative 3 times positive 3 is going to be negative 9. Okay, good. Now we combine again, but what you'll notice here is you got negative 3 or positive 3 minus 3. So if you do it correctly in a calculator, so we get what? We get positive 3 or just 3. And then you can either do minus 3 or you can do plus negative 3. Okay, you get 0, or you could do 3 minus 3 also, enter, and you get 0. Okay, so x squared. Now for right now I'm going to put plus 0x minus 9. But this is important. Normally what you would say is you just put x squared minus 9. If something's 0, it's nothing, okay? So you could do that. But when we put the answers in over here, remember, this is 1. We're going to put 0 here. When you enter this into Canvas, that's 0, and then negative 9. So A would be 1, 0, negative 9, okay? So again, normally we write it like that, but for Canvas, to enter your answers, you put in a 0, okay? So now we're looking at a question like this. Sometimes people get confused. They're not sure what to do because now we have a square. We only have one parenthesis and a square. Well, that is the same. That's the same as what? Remember, when you have x squared, that's the same as x times x, correct? Which is the same as x times x, right? The same thing times the same thing. That's all that square is. So here we're going to write it like this. So that's x plus 4 times x plus 4, right? So you know how to do that. Then you do it the regular way. Then you do x squared plus 4x, and then here plus 4x, and then here plus 16, okay? Then you combine these, so these become plus 8x plus 16, okay? So then you get 1, 8, 16, 1, 8, 16, okay? So that's how you do those. Okay, so now let's do one here. Now we have numbers, not just x minus 7, but 3x. So let's go ahead and do number, I'll let you make sure you do this one. I'll let you do that one. But let's go ahead and do this one here together, okay? Okay, so again, see, now we're going to do not just only the x's, but the 3x and the 9x, okay? So 3x times 9x is 27x squared, okay? And 3x times that is 3 times 3x, so that's plus 9x, okay? And then negative 7 times that. Now we start with negative 7. So negative 7 times, we're dealing multiplication. Remember, this is not adding, the multiplication. So that's minus 63x, okay? And then negative 7 times, or multiplication, that is minus 21, okay? So we can combine these together. So what do we get? 9 minus 63 should be negative 54x minus 21, okay? So that means 27. Now, this assignment doesn't have the x squared, so please write that in, okay? And then minus 54, and then minus 21. So 27 minus 54, and negative 21, okay? All right, so that's how you do it. So remember, if it's got numbers, you got to multiply these two numbers in front of the x together to get the 27, okay? Okay, so I'm going to do one more right here, but what's different about this one, if you see, is this one here, it's got a number, but it's a negative 7 right there. You see that? So that's negative 7, okay? That's fine. It's still the same process. We just got to keep track of the negative. So 2x minus 4, negative 7x minus 5, okay? So again, we multiply there. 2 times negative 7, negative 14x. Make sure you know how to do it on the calculator. So 2 times negative 5, negative 10x. And then negative 4 times negative 7, remember, that's multiplication. So that becomes positive 28x. And then here, negative multiplication negative 5 becomes plus 20, okay? So let me do another one on the calculator just to review. So remember, we're multiplying negative 4 times negative 7. It would be like this, right? Negative 4 multiply times negative 7. So when we do that, let me go here. There we go. Okay, so we go negative, we got to put the negative, not the minus, 4 times negative 7, enter, and we get 28, see? And then when we do negative 4 times negative 5, we get positive 20. So negative times a negative is a positive. Okay, and then when we get to this point, now we put these together after we finish this process of the parentheses. Now we're going to add them. So we're going to take, first this is negative 14. By the way, this is squared, I'm sorry, x squared. So that's our negative 14 x squared. Okay, this part we combine. So to get this one to combine, we're going to do negative 10 plus 28. So we go negative 10, not minus, but negative, plus 28, enter. So that's going to be 18. So this is going to be plus 18 and then plus 20. Okay, so let's see, 18, you got to put the plus there, and plus 20. So A is negative 14, B is 18, and this C is 20. So that's how you do these kind of problems. So remember, there's a few left in the assignment. Go back and do the ones that you haven't done, and then finish the rest of the assignment where we got practice problems, okay? Oops, there we go. So there's practice problems, plus I don't think we did all these. I think you need to do this one, I think you need to do, maybe that one, okay? And so maybe this one, and then when you finish, go ahead and do the practice problems and enter the answers into Canvas, okay?